Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Here we are back with our beautiful paintings from last week. All right, these cherry blossom paintings should be all dry by now, and today we're going to be folding and gluing to create a three-dimensional Chinese lantern. I can't wait for us to move forward. All right, so let's start by folding our paper in half from left to right, and I want you to do this with the pretty side, so these pretty Chinese flowers on the front, facing out. So don't fold it so they're in, make sure they're facing on the outside, just like me. Be careful when you press down this edge because you don't want to spread the paint around or make it look dirty. So sometimes I'll use the plastic handle of my scissors like this to press it nice and flat, but I'm being very gentle today because I don't want to spread or scratch the paint away or anything like that. So just be gentle. Okay, so now open that back up. Now we're looking at the white side. There we go. And I'm going to take just one of the sides and fold it to the middle. So I'm lining this up with the fold that I had just opened up, just like that. Stay nice and straight, take your time. When you finally have it lined up, press down the fold, just like we did before, either with your fingertips or you can use the plastic handle of a pair of scissors. Just be careful again with the paint. You don't want to scratch it or, smudge it around. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And this one's coming into the middle as well and folding it nice and flat. Okay, so you can check. It should look just like this. You should be able to fold it in half, but then also fold both sides in like doors, exactly like that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to be using some tape. I like tape for this project, and I like this clear tape, and I'm taking off kind of a long piece here because what I need to do is to tape the two ends together. So I folded this like I had originally folded it, like a book or a card, and I'm putting a piece of tape half on the paper and half on the table. Yes, I know that's weird, but it's half on the paper and half on the table. Now I picked that off, flipped my paper over, and now I'm bending my tape around and taping it to the other side of my project. So I'm taping that over, pushing that down. All right, push that tape on there really good from both sides, pinching it between my fingers there. Now when I open that up, the whole seam should be taped and your paper should pop up to be kind of a square shape. So I'm sort of playing with mine right now, trying to get it to be square. It was a little crooked to begin with. That's looking really, really good. Okay, so that's the next part. Okay, this is looking really good. Now I'm going to find one of the sides, it doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to use a pair of scissors and cut a little door. So I'm making a little slice going up about 2 inches or so, an inch or 2 inches. That makes a little doggy door, like a dog would use to go outside. And that's all I'm doing. Don't cut that off. Just make it sort of flap up and flap down and I'm all done. Now I'm going to use some Elmer's glue, not a glue stick. It's not strong enough. If you have hot glue at home, hot glue would work for this too. But I'm going to use Elmer's glue here at school. And I'm taking my Elmer's glue and tracing the top edge of my project. The top edge is the side without that little doggy door. I can actually see my doggy door down there at the bottom, and I'm going to leave that side for next. So I'm just tracing across the top. Now I'm going to flip this over and glue it to my little square piece of paper. That little square piece of paper becomes the top, or like the lid, of the Chinese lantern. Now, this is not going to stick instantly if you're using the same kind of glue as me. So I just need to sort of press that down and then let it alone. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm not going to put glue on the doggy door. So I'm going to put it from the edge of the doggy door all the way around, just not putting it on the doggy door itself. So here I go around. I'll stop right there, jump over the doggy door, and do the other side. Fantastic. And then I'll take my second piece of black paper. This is the bottom lid to my lantern. And I'll press that on. Keep these nice and square. Make sure you're not putting them on all crooked and crazy. Keep them nice and square. Now here's the hard part. You have to just push that away and let it dry. Do you see how you can see my glue is still white? That means that the glue is still wet. I need to just put this aside, let that turn clear, and then when it turns clear, I can move on to the next part. All right, pause the video here. Come on back whenever that's dry. It might be an hour or it might be 30 minutes, just depends on your glue. When it's dry, come on back and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, welcome back. All right, so I'm going to find the bottom of my Chinese lantern. It's the part with the little doggy door, and that needs to stay on the bottom. Now I'm lying mine down right now in front of me so that I can attach a handle. You don't need to attach a handle, but if you have a little extra scrap of paper lying around, mine is red for good luck. That's the color for good luck in Chinese New Year. Hopefully you learned that in the video last week. So I'm going to use just a little piece of tape to attach it to the bottom edge of my black piece of paper on this side and then a little bit on the other side. This is at the top of my Chinese lantern, the side without the doggy door. And again, you don't really need a handle unless you're planning to hang yours up, but a handle is kind of nice and it looks nice on top there too. Okay, fantastic. So let's see what this actually looks like. This looks pretty awesome sitting here on my counter at school. Now, when I turn mine around and I find my little doggy door, I noticed with mine, when I got my little light, that it didn't fit in the space. So I had to actually make a second little doggy door next to my first one to make a longer doggy door to be able to fit mine in. So hopefully yours will fit in there too. So I turned my light on and I put it inside of my lantern. But unfortunately, you can't really see it very well because I was filming my video during the day. And during the day, lights like that don't show up. So I took my Chinese lantern and I went into one of my closets here at school. So this is what your Chinese lantern looks like when it's in a dark space. Isn't that beautiful? Now, never ever ever put a real candle inside of your Chinese lantern. It's made of paper, right? So that would be a very big fire hazard. Never do that. But if you have one of those little plastic battery operated they're called votives, then you can use one of those inside of your Chinese lantern. Or if you have a small flashlight that you can turn on and put in your lantern for a little while, and then when you're ready to be done with it, then you can turn off the light and be done. Well, I hope you had a great time making your Chinese lanterns. I cannot wait to see the photographs showing up on Art Sonia, and I'll see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking. HOB artists, don't forget to hop on over to Art Sonia to upload a photograph of your piece of artwork to your art portfolio. I can't wait to see it.